It's Joy with a Soul Inspired Life with my friend Andrew Oser from Mount Shasta. Good to see you, Andrew.
Always good to be with you, Joy. You're looking beautiful today.
Thank you. Yeah, we were talking about the violet. It's such a powerful healing color. We were also talking about intuition and inner guidance. And you mentioned that you have a technique to get clarity around yes and no. And that's why I'm here with you today, is I want to at some point learn that technique. But first, I really am curious, like, what is your take on accessing guidance and why is it so important?
I feel like accessing guidance is critical. I was very fortunate. I had a spiritual teacher really when I was in my early 20s who really emphasized the importance of learning how to access your own guidance. And if you don't know how to access your inner guidance, you basically have two choices, both of which I think are bad. One is to follow your mind all the time, which has its limitations. And second, to ask other people what to do and rely on their opinions, which obviously is not a winning strategy. But when you learn how to access your guidance reliably, then you have your own navigation system. And it's freed me from a lot of potential judgment or anxiety or fear, just knowing whatever challenges life offers, whatever choices life offers, I have the ability to go inside and get a clear answer. And I want to mention too that I was not a natural at guidance when I first tried a simple process when I was in my early 20s. I was basically terrible at it. I was not a star in the guidance class, but I knew it was important. So I practiced and practiced my butt off until I got confident. So, I encourage anyone who recognize the importance of guidance not to be discouraged if it doesn't come easily at first, but just keep practicing. And if I got it, anybody can get it.
I am so glad you said that, Andrew, because I feel like obviously, intuition and guidance is an innate ability of every single human being. It's a soul gift. We all have it, but we've been trained out of it because you're right. We've been trained to like use our logic, our mind data, maybe follow our fears or desires, or dial a psychic or ask friends for advice. So I'm right with you that that tends to be misguided information. But even though we've been trained not to be intuitive, we can retrain ourselves and to be soft and easy on the process. I know for myself, like part of my learning to be more intuitive included making mistakes and having consequences when I chose in a hurry or I didn't slow down to listen, or all sorts of lures and hooks and ego desires that got in my way. But that's okay. That's how we all learn. And yeah, so be gentle in practice, practice, practice. It is a practice, which brings us to the practice. What's the yes no practice?
Okay, so this is a really simple process, and it actually appeals quite well to people who tend to be left brains because it's a very linear step-by-step process. So we're using a linear process to access wisdom that's beyond the linear. So the first thing, Joy, is to think of a choice you have in your life where you can identify two clear options. So this is not like blue sky. Blue sky would be, I know it's time to leave Mount Shasta, but I don't have a clue where to go. Where should I go, God? So this process is not for that. This process is more like, well, either I'm going to stay in Mount Shasta or I'm going to leave. Two clear choices. Or I'm going to move to St. Louis, or I'm going to move to Cleveland. I know they're two of your top choices, probably, right? So can you think of a choice? And it could be a major life decision, or it could be something really small. Like, am I going to go to the beach this weekend or stay home, whatever. But can you think of a choice that's current for you? We have two clearly identified options.
Two options. Sure. I have what came to me is like something I'm offering in April. I've got two different ideas of the subjects.
Okay,
And so there's subject A and subject B, right?
perfect. Yeah, you don't have to say what it is. So we got A and B. So let's go through the process. Close your eyes for this. So the first step is you want to get into a neutral place. You could call it a 0 point place. So just an open place. So you want to let go of any ideas, attachments, concepts, fears, preferences. And so just ask to be open and to let go of anything that could possibly block your clear access to your heart's wisdom. And you can use breath for that. As the breath goes out, just have a sense of letting go of anything around this choice, just any prior thoughts or preferences, just let it go. And just let go really deeply until you're in a space where you're just here, you're just open, you just feel your heart's desire for truth, for clarity. You feel your willingness to follow your heart's true wisdom wherever it leads you and to trust that. Maybe a little gratitude just to give thanks for this desire to live by your guidance, by your truth rather than your mind. And really feel gratitude for this gift you and I both have been given. Okay, that's the first step. So the next step is to set up a reference point of what yes is for you. So to do that, Joy, I invite you to recall any time in your life you had a decision to make and you got 100% clear yes. It
Yep, I
wasn't
came,
40.
got it. Yep,
Beautiful. So you don't have to say what it is, but go back in that moment.
yep,
Go back to that moment of yes. And just go into that full experience, not the
yep.
story what was going on in your life then, but that moment. And really feel it in your body. And if you're more visual, maybe there's a picture or lights that go with it. If you're more auditory, maybe there's sounds or a voice. But there's definitely that feeling, that deep feeling in your body now of yes. Can you feel that?
Yeah, I
Okay,
can.
good. So
Yep.
now go to option A in the current choice. So
Okay.
whichever option you, and option A does not mean preferred. It's just one of the two options. Just pick one as option A and dive into that. Just tell yourself silently, I'm doing option A, and just
Got it.
move towards. If you get the same big yes right away, that's your answer. But if it's not a yes right away, don't give up on it too soon. Stay with it. Continue internally just to move towards that. I'm doing option A. Just be with that for a moment. See if it opens into that yes or not. Feel it. Be with it. Option A.
Okay. I
Just let
feel
it
that.
go. Yeah, you don't have to tell me now what you got. Just
Yep.
with the process. Just let it go. As breath goes out, just let the river of life just carry away whatever energies, good, bad, or indifferent, associated with option A until you're back in that neutral space, the space where you just are open to your heart's wisdom. You just want to follow your heart's wisdom wherever it takes you. And then go back to the reference point. So the reference point is at other time, you got that clear, strong, congruent yes. Just go back into that moment. And when you're really there, when you're in the full experience of yes, just say, yes, I know you're there.
Yep. Yep.
Good. And now let's jump into option B. Whatever option B is in the current choice, just tell yourself, I'm doing option B and just go into it. Again, if you feel that huge yes right away, that's your answer, you're done. If it's not quite a full yes, move more towards it. Just really stay with it. See if it opens into yes or whether it's not quite it. Now just let go of option B, whatever that was for you.
Hmm.
As the breath goes out, just let it carry away whatever the experience was, the energies were for option B until you're just right here. Just feeling the chair beneath you and be aware of your breath and just a sense of being right here in the present. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. How was that for you?
That's so beautiful. It's a little more formal, but it's similar to what I notice I do. Like I know the wows so strongly now that I kind of like set that as the bar. Like I just want to do the nows. But this was amazing because I really have been juggling between one title is intuition at work and the other is mindsets and energy shifts for success. And they're very different. They're different conversations. But I got B. I just am like, no, mindsets and energy shifts. That just lit me up like a yes, like it's rich in there. That and I've been just kind of wondering what to do. so so And I'm not going to doubt it. It feels really clear. And it's not that the other one, I can do that and I can do it other times and I will do it. But this is like the now energy, the alive energy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's one really key point about guidance, Joy, is guidance is for the present. And it doesn't rule out anything for the future. You know, like for example, I guide sacred site journeys on the mountain. So to give my clients a chance to practice, I often say, okay, we can either go to Fairy Falls now or go to Ascension Rock. And we check. And I always say this doesn't mean anything about what we're going to do later today or tomorrow. The guidance is only now. We check our guidance for now, we go there, and then we finish, we check where we go next. And where we go next could be the other place, you know, we checked and it wasn't it. So guidance is in the present. And guidance is best and most clear when it's really time to make the choice. Like, say, if there's a choice that you really need to make now. I mean, maybe there's a choice, you know, you've got a contract and it's going to expire in 9 months, and you wonder, should I renew the contract? I mean, you may not get clarity because now's not the time to know that.
I love that you brought that up. That's so true. And when we, one of the mistakes I see people make that I've also made is force decisions prematurely, force choices before they're really ripe in time. And like it's so, it's like, is this an immediate choice? Can I postpone this choice? Can I slow down and wait until I've shifted my energy? I'm more receptive. I've let go of some of the charges um, because in that rush and that hurry, and I need to know, we aren't like what you were guiding. We aren't relaxed. We can't see it. We feel the pressure too much. And in that frequency, it's harder to get the clarity.
Right. And one other thing that relates to what you were saying is that sometimes we're just afraid of uncertainty. We're uncomfortable with uncertainty.
Yes.
And it's really not time to know. Sometimes our highest option is to be in the mystery and have trust. We'll know when we need to know. When we do guidance from that place, it's really not serving us. It's just coming from fear of being in uncertainty.
Yeah, it is. It's coming from control, needing to know. And I love that you bring this into the mix because, yeah, to sit in the lodge of not knowing and trust that eventually either the guidance comes in like a process like this or our own clarity, our clairaudience or clairvoyance or whatever, just our knowing. But sometimes it can just be like to have a conversation with life and say, I don't know, I'm in the mystery. So benevolent beings of this earth and, you know, in the invisible realms, I'm open to signs and symbols. I'm open to the feeling drawn towards something or, you know, getting signs and symbols literally to take me where's next. That does take living in the moment. That takes living in the moment, being in the present. Andrew, I didn't know you did that with your clients. I love that you not only take people to sacred sites, but along the journey, I know you're a teacher and things, and you guide people in meditations and experiences, but to really instill and invite the opportunity to practice, like you said at the beginning, practice guidance during their pilgrimage with you.
Right. And the more people practice and practice on small things, they develop confidence in their ability to access their heart's highest wisdom. And then when a big choice comes up, they have confidence with it and they trust what they get.
That's
So
right.
practicing on small things, you know, even like going to a restaurant. Should I go to this restaurant or that restaurant? Ultimately, it's not a big deal. And you probably have a fine time and a good meal to either place, but it's just a chance to practice. And sometimes you practice, like when going to a restaurant, you may go there and there's an old friend there you've been thinking about and you haven't seen for months. So it's not really necessarily just about the food.
I love it. I love it. And so this practice that we just did, and maybe people did it along with me because we had option A and B, which made it kind of clean, right? You know, replay and do it yourself if you're watching this video and just practice. And I love that. Practice with the little things and then see what happens. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I have to say that that one of the times when I had such a strong yes that I pulled on that experience for this, It was like my whole body lit up. So for me, the guidance is somewhat somatic. It's like there was energy in my system. I could just feel. I felt hopeful. I felt expansive. And that's what a yes is to me. There's something wow about it. There's something expansive about it. It's fun. It's just, or it just feels, yep, this is going to happen. I can feel it. Yeah. I'm curious, what does your yes feel like before we close out the video here?
It feels like joy. I mean, one word I would say joy, and yeah, it just feels like the natural flow of life. Of course,
Because we're meant to be happy. Yeah, we get to feel all of it. Emotions are just energy emotion, but there is something to Joseph Campbell's follow your bliss.
there is. And if you follow your bliss, life tends to work out for the
Yeah,
highest good.
yeah. Amen, brother. Okay, I'm so glad we did this.
Me too. Thank you for inviting me, Joy.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew.
See you soon.